But Sky, what are your final observations? Let's start with this. The defense is going to be a menace. I'm just saying, if this defense isn't better, I'll come back on here and I'll apologize. Now, I said this many a times. It may take a statistical drop in certain areas, hence turnovers. Turnovers don't usually, you're not usually the number one turnover team in back-to-back years. But everything else, if this defense is not better, I will be shocked. I think the pass rush is sick. I think Dan Quinn has a lot in his wheelhouse that gave the Cowboys passing game and offense in general trouble at practice. I think the defensive backs made life a living hell in Oxnard for these wide receivers. Now, did they win? Sure. 101? Sure. Team was not easy. Team was not easy for these wide receivers. So I think this defense is going to be a menace. And I didn't even bring up Micah Aaron Parsons. Defensive MVP this year. If they allow him to be, put it that way. If they allow Micah to be, he will win defensive MVP this year. I mean, he has that ability. And I'm glad, and we'll get to this part of it in the joint practice. I'm glad he got put on display in Denver, that what he was doing to the Cowboys defense is not our offense is not some anomaly. He did the same damn thing to that right tackle over there in Denver. Okay, so we'll talk about that a little bit later, but I don't really have many concerns. Now, injuries are starting to trickle up. We'll get to that. The two guys that you want to be your kind of hunkered down one techs, one of those dudes kind of just been around. The other one has taken that a little bit of a leap. So we'll talk about that as well, but not too many concerns defensively. I truly don't. And here's the other kind of main observation from camp. We could talk about the obvious, right? CeeDee Lamb and Dak, which we'll get to, by the way. But I think it's going to be virtually impossible to get a true grip on this running game until you get into the season. Hell, and you got Tampa week 1. You may not really get a full grip on it for a few weeks into the regular season. And you might be asking me, why are you saying that? Well, in practice, they're really not working on the run game, keeping it to be. They're really not working on the run game. Number 2, you can't tackle. You're really not allowed to hit to the ground. So, angles and how, defensive backs and linebackers are attacking these gaps, all they can do is run up and they put their hands like this and kind of celebrate if they're going to hit them. So you don't know if somebody's going to break a tackle. You don't know if somebody's going to get trucked or they're going to truck the running back. You don't know if they're just kind of just flying upfield just to get upfield and then letting up. It's too much uncertainty in regards to how well this running game will be because of the way practices are now, right? So if you can't tackle in your regular practice, you aren't tackling in your joint practice, well, all right, let's see what happened preseason. Well, Zeke's not playing in preseason. Tony Pollard might not play in preseason. Dak's probably not going to play in the preseason. Tyron and Zach definitely ain't going to play in the preseason. So you're really not going to get a true gauge on this run game until the season starts. And the reason why I brought that up as a main observation is because I think, and we all believe this, right? This offense, at the very least, the beginning of the season, is going to need to lean on the run game. Is going to have to lean on the run game. Hell, your boy Dalton Schultz came out and said it. We're a run team, right? That's our identity. We're going to be a run team. All right. We won't see it for a bit, but okay. Let's do it. So those are kind of my two things I took away as my final Oxnard observation. This defense is real. I think it's going to carry your team for the most part. And offensively, what is your identity may not really be shown until a quarter into the season. You got some tough ones. Tampa's run defense is real. The Rams' run defense is real. So you got a couple tough ones in the midst of the beginning of the season. Now, if you can run on those dudes, now we cooking with grease. This video is brought to you by Supreme Lending Dallas. For over 20 years, Supreme Lending Dallas has been your right hand for home buying, stemming from their belief in building customers for life. They have a simple 6-step process that has changed the life of thousands of DFW residents. From loan applications to setup, processing, underwriting, closing, and even post-closing. Supreme Lending Dallas and their 24/7 top-notch customer service will be by your side every step of the way. Make your dream home a reality and apply today at supremelendingdallas.com.